Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem is a movie that I hate. I hate it so much that I can't put it into words, but I'm gonna try. And the movie scored really highly on Rotten Tomatoes. I was surprised. I was like, maybe I was wrong. Maybe my initial thoughts were wrong. Maybe this is a great movie and I just need to watch it. So I did. Now, don't expect a bunch of movie reviews on this channel because that's not something that I do, but I wanted to watch this movie because I'm a huge TMNT fan from back in the day. I started with the 1987 cartoon, and it's a big part of my childhood, so I love the Turtles, and I wanted to watch this movie. Back when I heard about the development of this movie, I was excited for it. I'm like, a fresh reboot, a CGI Ninja Turtles. This could work. And I like a good family-friendly movie like the Super Mario Bros. Movie. That's good fun. The original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles from 1990. That's good fun too. It's a good movie, well put together, and it's good for the kids too. It's good for everybody. Mutant Mayhem, however, is not good. It is not a good movie. I wish it were not made, and Seth Rogen is a no-talent ass clown. I'm gonna break up this review into 4 parts. The first part being spoiler-free, the good stuff. The second part is spoiler-free, the bad stuff. And then I'm going to move into spoiler territory and do the good stuff, spoilers, and the bad stuff, spoilers. So be warned, I'll put a timestamp in the description below for all these different segments so you can check them out at your will. But if you're trying to avoid spoilers, I will make sure to do so. So this is the spoiler-free section of the review, the good stuff. The Turtles are back! Now it's on to the bad stuff. I hate the art style and the animation. This is just a personal preference, this is my opinion. Some people love it. This is kind of like the Spider-Verse movies where it has kind of that janky, like low FPS animation mixed with some 3D aspects. I'm not sure if I like it. In fact, I know I don't. I mean, it kind of worked for Spider-Verse. I thought it was a good movie. I didn't love it, but I thought it was good. But this movie, it is just... I hate looking at it. I hate looking at this movie. I think it's ugly. I think it's horrible. Everything in this movie, every character is either ugly or deformed or both. They're just hideous. There are no characters in this movie that aren't hideous. April O'Neil now has the same body shape as the Penguin from Batman Returns. And in keeping with Hollywood tradition, they took another white character and replaced her with another race. Have you ever noticed how that seems to only happen in one direction? I was willing to look past that as long as it was an interesting character, but she's not. Donatello's voice sounds completely out of whack. It sounds out of place with the rest of the cast. He sounds like a 7-year-old child. He doesn't sound like a teenager. He sounds like a small little child, and that's very strange.
You're fine, chill. I can't believe there are other mutants.
Michelangelo's voice also doesn't seem to fit the character very well. I mean, it works, I guess, kind of, but it's... I wasn't feeling it. Also, where the hell did Donatello get his glasses? Did he go to an optometrist? Did he get a prescription for those glasses? What the hell? What about Michelangelo with his braces? What's up with that? Did he go to an orthopedic doctor to get those braces installed and adjusted? Like, questions that need answers. Do they have insurance? Do they pay out of pocket? This doesn't make any damn sense. I know what you're thinking. This is a kid's movie. It's a Turtles movie. It's not supposed to make sense. It's supposed to be somewhat grounded in reality to make it not retarded. Long Gone is over 35 years of established Turtles lore. In this movie, it's a complete retelling of the entire franchise. It's a complete retelling. All the characters, all the backstories you think you know, just forget about them because this is an all-new one. And I would be okay with a complete retelling as long as they did justice to the original idea of the Turtles. This does not. It doesn't come anywhere close to honoring the Turtles in their original form at all. There's tons of references also to modern pop culture, which really dates the movie. So if you're gonna watch this movie 20 or 30 years from now, it's like a time capsule. You'll know exactly when it was made because there's so many modern references, and it's very annoying to watch. I mean, once or twice, yeah, that's fine, I guess, in a movie, but this happens throughout the movie, and I'm gonna talk about this more in the spoiler section, so yeah, get ready for that. I found the story to be very uninteresting and pretty stupid. There are no serious moments or moments that feel like they have a big emotional weight to them, like in the original 1990 Turtles film, whenever all 4 Turtles were meditating and they connect with the spirit of Splinter and have a shared experience. That was pretty hardcore. Or like those dark moments where Shredder comes around from the corner and just hits Splinter in the face because he's so pissed at him. That was some hardcore stuff to watch as a kid. I was 10 years old when I saw that. I'm like, wow. Shredder's scary. The main villain in this movie is not one that you take very seriously. At least I didn't. I didn't get a big sense of threat or dread from this character. He was just kind of silly. He's there for comic relief. All the turtles now are just like silly and goof off all the time. So there's nothing really to set Michelangelo apart from the rest because he was like the goofball one, and now they're all goofball ones. So now Michelangelo has nothing interesting to set him apart from the others, except for now his head is shaped like Hey Arnold's from the cartoon. And they even make fun of the shape of his head in the movie.
Why did we pick a fruit shaped exactly like my head?
I don't consider that a spoiler because it's in the trailer, so, there you go. Okay, so now we're moving on to the spoiler section of the review, so if you don't want anything spoiled, go ahead and pause the video now and come back to it later. I'll still be here. So here's the good stuff I found about the movie, spoiler-wise. It introduces an interesting idea in that the turtles, all they want to do is be accepted by humanity. They want to feel the acceptance. So what's interesting is that whenever they meet a group of other mutants, they feel that acceptance, and it's kind of an interesting dynamic because this is like the first time they've ever been able to relate to anybody outside of their little closed circle. There's this really cool Easter egg near the beginning of the film in the first action sequence that the turtles are in, and one of the car stereos turns on and is playing Ninja Rap from the Secret of the Ooze movie. I thought that was a pretty cool little throwback there. A nice little Easter egg. I chuckled from that. Superfly, who is the main villain of this movie, not Baxter Stockman, Superfly. Why they had to make a whole separate character for the mutant fly, I'll never know, but that's what it is. Superfly is the main character, the main villain, I should say. Not the Shredder, not Krang, not anybody that's ever been established, just a brand new generic mutant fly. However, he is kind of an interesting character and he's funny to watch. He's entertaining to watch because he's voiced by Ice Cube and has some good dialogue. So I enjoyed the moments that he was on screen, probably the most. There's a really nice scene of a montage of the turtles going around and roughing up Superfly's minions or his associates. It's a pretty cool montage, it's well put together and it's fun to watch. It's probably the highlight of the movie. And lastly, Bebop and Rocksteady are back. Now we're on to the bad stuff about this movie. Spoiler-wise, these are the bad things. Bebop and Rocksteady are your friends. Seriously, there's like no point in introducing these characters, Bebop and Rocksteady. They're like the two most well-known henchmen of the Shredder back in the Turtles cartoon days. And here they exist, but they're the Turtles' friends. And then they become enemies for a short while, and then they become friends again. It's like, it's just so tiresome. It's all so tiresome. Leatherhead is one of my favorite Turtles villains. He's like this rough Cajun guy, and he's like a total badass. Except in this movie, he is now female and an Australian. Because reasons. And you remember how I said April O'Neil now looks like the Penguin from Batman Returns? Well, what's even more annoying is that Leonardo spends the first half of the movie just fawning over her, like, oh, she's just so beautiful. She's so amazing, so beautiful. And that doesn't serve any purpose except for to make my face turn inside out from hyper cringe, because they don't develop any relationship throughout the movie. Like, they don't get romantic or like even go in that direction at all. Like, that's just pointless and it's stupid and it's cringe and I want to blow my head off. And you remember how I said there was a lot of modern pop culture references? There are, and it's so exhausting to watch, and it's like, ugh, every time it came on screen I just let out an audible sigh. Just throughout the movie, they're talking about the same crap over and over again. They mention Mark Ruffalo twice. They mention Attack on Titan twice. They mention going to an Adele concert. It's like, stop it. Stop it. Like, what teenage boys want to go to an Adele concert? Like, what the hell? Do teenage boys actually like Adele? Is that a thing? Ooh, this one's really annoying. Donatello mentions that he's really good at driving because he's played Forza Horizon. Forza. It's called Forza Horizon. Forza. It's an Italian word, you stupid screenwriters. In the very first scene the turtles are in, they're stealing stuff. They're literally breaking into warehouses, breaking into semi-trucks and stealing food. And then shortly afterwards, they're helping to get April O'Neil's stolen scooter back. So remember kids, stealing is bad unless you're stealing food and you're a turtle. Like, the turtles are supposed to fight crime, not add to it. And the turtles' backstory is relatively the same. Some ooze leaks into a sewer, they come into contact with it, they mutate into these mutant turtles. In Splinter's original story, it has been flushed down the toilet and been replaced with this new, shitty version. In this Turtles universe of Mutant Mayhem, Hiroko Saki and Hamato Yoshi do not exist. No mention of either of those two names, no mention of the Foot Clan, just none of that. It's gone, it doesn't exist. And then you're probably thinking, well, How does Splinter know martial arts so well, to teach his sons so well, and be such great ninjas? How does he know? He's watched kung fu movies before, so now he's really good. I'm serious, that's what happens. Splinter spends his time watching martial arts and old kung fu movies, and so now he's a master because he's watched those movies. Fuck. So exhausting. I'm pretty sure there's millions of other people around the world who have also watched kung fu movies. Maybe I'm wrong, but where are all the ninja masters? So now there's no real link between the turtles and actual like ninjutsu and martial arts training. It's just them watching movies and being able to mimic what they see on screen.
I'm not doing a thing till we eat some serious breakfast.
And we don't eat until we practice.
In the movie, the turtles don't really take their martial arts training seriously. They just goof off all the time. It's silly. And the turtles have absolutely no respect for Splinter. They spend the entire movie just going against his wishes and doing things that he doesn't want them to do, and they're sneaking behind his back, and they don't care about him at all. And Splinter is just kind of like a comedic prop. He just exists just to get a laugh out of the audience, but it's just dumb. Eventually, Splinter does get one cool action scene where he's like kicking a bunch of people's asses, and you're like, oh, cool, or at least that's what they were supposed to make you feel, but I didn't give a crap by that point. There's also a really pointless love interest that's developed in the last 10 minutes of the movie with Splinter and a mutant cockroach named Scumbug. Why? It's gross, it's stupid, it's pointless. It's all those things wrapped in one. The turtles' names now no longer have an interesting backstory or any story at all. Splinter didn't find an old Renaissance art book or anything like that. Just nothing interesting at all is behind the origin of the turtles' names. They're just what they are because that's it, okay? That's it. Michelangelo being my favorite turtle, I was kind of expecting him to do some more cool stuff, but no, he doesn't. He has one cool scene in the movie where he takes Donatello's stick. They don't call it a bow in the movie, they just call it a stick a few times in the movie, just to remind you that it is a stick, okay? That's what it is. But Mikey takes Donnie's stick and he jams the brake pedal of the van they're traveling in from the back seat, which was kind of cool. It was a cool scene. But that's it. The end. Michelangelo's forgettable. In fact, when you look at all four turtles, the main two are Leonardo and Donatello. Michelangelo and Raphael are like secondary characters, and they don't get as much screen time or as many lines of dialogue. But yeah, there's my review. If I had a choice, I would stick this movie into a dumpster and pour gasoline on it and light it on fire immediately. I wish I had never watched it. I wish I could erase my memory and then go and watch this video in a couple of years and remind myself never to watch this movie. Your time is better spent, if you want to get your turtles fix, better spent watching the 1990 film
Now, you know, a little Primatine might just help clear that up there.
or the season 1 of the original 87 animated film, which is now on YouTube for free. Links in the description below. If you want to watch this movie, I would implore you to do it without giving them money somehow. Alright, but that's my review. I'm done talking about it. This movie is absolute garbage and I hated it. But as always, I appreciate it. Please consider subscribing or following me on Odyssey, and I'll see you again soon.
Wait for me! Whoa!